Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the next big patch of my game, the Duck Amikaze Strikes Back, the 1.1.0 patch. It's a patch that I've set up on both the demo and the main game so that you don't miss anything from one or another. And so it's mainly user-friendly, so the big patch update brings like some correction, some bug issues that have been handled, but really tiny, mostly visuals. But the two big thing is like a revamping of the pause menu. I mean, revamping is a huge word, it's just, now it's better, it's more clean, there is less ambiguity, and the biggest stuff is here. It's the difficulty selection, so when you start the game, you can go back to the menu, back, boom, but you can choose the difficulty. So what is great with this is that people will never or not be able to miss the information that there is 3 different difficulty mode, and especially this will give you give the player and you too the information on what are the bonuses exactly. So you see that here there is infinite hearts, infinite jump, 3 hearts double jump, 1 heart double jump. So this is nice because before I didn't have this information. I only had it from the Steam page, so if people didn't read the Steam page, they don't get it. Also below there is some text to give you more lore, more stuff about the story of the game. It's not huge, but it's still pretty nice to have this. And I noticed that some people don't read any Steam page, or at least don't really pay attention or don't remember or stuff like that. So with this, at least player will have in mind that there is some stuff of revenge, some idea of revenge in the way. So it's pretty cool. But if you don't want to read it, it's down below, so it's not like it's taking the place of the screen. What's mainly important here is to understand what you can do, so switching the difficulty. And one huge stuff I've added is like before this patch we had like 5 hearts if we were in easy mode, but I noticed that there is many people that even with 5 hearts struggles a lot with the game. And so I asked myself, if should I raise the number of hearts to 10 or something? Should I? But it will take too much place on the screen. Should I add more checkpoints? But then it will be like a bit problematic, in the code. I mean, not really in the code, but I will have to add more stuff in here and there depending on the. To me, the game is perfect in normal. That's my take as a really, I enjoy platformer overall. I really love Celeste, and I think the game is perfect in normal, and it's really hard in hardcore, and I really think it's perfect too in terms of challenge. I mean, I really like it, but if you are more of a beginner, or if it's the first time you play this game, if you are stuck sometimes with the easy mode, you will be able to always be able to go through no matter what. And so this is pretty nice. So I've added the UI. So on the top you see there is a new logo right now to show the infinite hearts, and for the infinite jumps you already know you have them. So I'm not going to show you my game. Maybe you already know it, or maybe you don't, but this is not the point of the video. So a huge patch for this, so now everybody will be able to see, will get the information. There is 3 different difficulty mode, what the difficulty will give you, and also I didn't say it already, but if you start the game for the first time, you will not have the hardcore mode unlocked, because you will have to finish the game first time, to clear it initially once. I've done this because hardcore is really hard, and I didn't want people to go into this first hand, in one shot. It will have been maybe too hard for them, or maybe not too hard, but it's not the way I want people to feel about the game. It's really hard, but I don't want them to feel that pain. First, I want them to discover the game like it was intended, and I think 3 hearts is perfect. The game is really well built with this. But again, if you're more of a beginner, you can always pass any level with this feature, the easy mode. And so if you finish the game and you feel yourself, ready for a real challenge, even harder, there is the hardcore mode. As I showed in the previous video, the game is entirely feasible in hardcore mode. And yeah. So now what I've added is also some stuff in the option menu. So I've moved around some stuff. So before here we had the game, and below that we had the language, and we had the difficulty. We could change the difficulty, but now it's different. Now it's only the language here, and the difficulty, which is more logic, is down below in accessibility, which is more logic. So you can switch here the difficulty of the game, and you see the bonuses here. Still there is no sprites to show you hearts, but still you get information about the infinity, heart, and jump. So it's pretty nice. I removed the flash option, like I said in the previous video, because there is no need to have this feature anymore. I mean, it was always useless. It just was just for me, you know, as a nostalgic thingy, as I like to say, because it was the very first option I added in my huge code. Like you can see, there is a lot of stuff, so it was the very first I had, but because it's useless, it doesn't have to stay, so I removed that shit. Oops, sorry, I shouldn't say this. And so one also big stuff is that I split the controls. So now there is the keyboard and mouse from one end and the controller. So let's say you play on one or the other, you won't be bothered with two lines that are useless to see in the sub-menu controls. So now both of them have their separate stuff. And so what is really nice now is that I've added the dead zone, the joystick drifting. So because one person that played my game, and I'm really glad that he did, mention as a bad point, as a negative feedback, that my game is bad. Is bad is like there is, you know, movements that are not precise or something. Maybe not the best level to show, but and anyway, there is nothing to show because it's completely false. If he played Celeste, he would have seen that the trouble is from his controllers and not the game. But anyway, and so now you can switch the dead zone. So by default it's 20%, and you can raise it to 80. I should have added maybe the percentage like I did in my second game, but it's like to the left it's 0 and to the right it's 100%. But you can't go that far, and it just goes the same with the sound. So it's pretty logic. Just try and you will get. So I didn't put 0 to 100% because I'm not sure if you know about this, but the 20% to 80% is what it is, and it's perfect because it avoids the joystick drifting. And it's like, how to explain? If you could put 0 here, you will have permanently movements with your joystick, because it will always consider to be to have input, but even though you don't do anything. And if you go rise to the 100%, you won't be able to do anything because your controller will be completely off. No area will be usable. So yeah, the 20 to 80% is perfect, so that even people that thinks the game is bad because there is weird movement or whatever, it's false. It's just their controllers that is a bit rusty. My controller is a bit rusty too, and so if my controller, for example, is a bit rusty and is like 5 years of playing every day, you know, it starts to be pretty rusty for joystick. So you can just rise a bit, you know, and you move around and you see if you still have this joystick drifting thingy, and you can even rise to 80%. So it's perfect. No longer anyone will be able to experience like joystick drifting in my game because of that. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm just sad the person, and I'm sorry, it was Simon, I think, if I remember right the name. I'm sad he put this as a negative feedback negative point, because it's not my fault. It's just his controller, you know. But now he will be able to play the game, and everybody will be able to play the game with a very, very bad controller, and you will have no joystick drifting experience. And then I've added something too. It's the joystick reverse left and right. So this is only for the left users, you know, the left-handed people. Sometimes you prefer to have the left or the right to move around your character. So this will give you this ability. And I think I talk really too much and really too fast, and I'm sorry, but I think we covered it out and everything is perfect as expected. Yep. And so So yeah, I think it's really nice because now the game will have everything intended. So now when you start the game, you will be able to change the difficulty, so you will know that there is the difficulty that is available. You will know what it provides. You will get some lore, some story background on the bottom. So you'll know what you're going to do here, because it was set because it wasn't there before. You will see that there is a double jump. Also, even though there is a prologue that tells you a lot of stuff about this, it's even better to have this, because the prologue had one huge problem, is that because I put some text that is kind of useless for some people, like for example the use jump key to jump, I wanted to do something so that even people that never played a single game in their life could do something, but I can understand that then they don't read the rest of the prologue. And some stuff I've done so that it's better this way. There is some story background in the main menu, and so I've corrected some stuff. So here I've corrected a tiny bug with the water. If I put it back in like this, so it's just a little bit higher, because I saw Colibria, if I remember right her name. She played my game and she got stuck, let's say stuck for like 20 seconds, like doing this, you know. And because the water was really down and she didn't wait it to be back at the top, I mean, of the water, she was kind of stuck, so she finally, so it was my bad indeed. You can get stuck if you don't, I mean, it wasn't stuck, but it's just that now there is no way you can get stuck, so it's not like it was stuck, it's just like if you do a specific way of movement, you could get you could move to the right, you know, and jump, but never be able to rise, because you just simply do this, you know, and you don't think even to use the wall to punch up or whatever. But it's just perfect because nobody will have to experience this tiny trouble. Maybe I'm talking too much about this. And I just forgot to show what I wanted you to show. It's like some people also asking me, you know, to add some stuff. It's like if you die and you didn't touch a checkpoint, they want the chrono to be back to 0. So this is what I've done. It's not much, but I didn't thought it was important, because you just had to do this, you know, world map, boom, and you start again. But it's user friendly, so it's something else that people will be able to enjoy. So that's pretty nice. And so that's mainly it for the patch. I've also added some tiny stuff. It was the visuals of some stuff. For example, on this level, I'm not sure if you will be if you will ever be able to get back to the previous version of the game, depending on the depot of Steam. But before we had a bug here, I noted back a few weeks earlier or whatever, but just to show you. And the bug was like, if you go here, the fireflies were just spawning, you know, and now they're always there, so you can see the transition, and it's really nice. So it was a bug that was only appearing on I mean, it was a bug that wasn't present on the very first level here, the level of night, the heart, but every level of heart had this trouble, so this is something I've added, so now it's perfect. And I've also added some tiny stuff. It's not much, but it's like water thingy. The video is already really long, but if you stayed here, I can show you. Boom. It's just visual stuff, so it's just like in 20 seconds or something. And I said I wanted to make a really tiny video, and I'm going to make as long as the previous one, but you know, it's a patch about updating stuff, so most people are not interested, but some people are interested, so if you want some crispy thingy, you've got it. So just this, the water is just a bit down below, before the previous position it was, so it's better visually. And yeah, all that to say this. I can go die and disappear. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So pretty good addition to my game. So now my game is really complete. I think there is nothing I can do apart of changing the cover. I think it's really nice because you have the information, you have a better easy mode, so everybody will be able to play the game till the end. And yeah, the only thing that is lacking in my game right now to be called perfect in my eyes, my bad, is a cover that is hand-drawn and no longer, you know, made with AI, partially because, I mean, some people were right, you know, it's not worthy, I mean, it's not cool, it's not good, and some people didn't play my game just because of that, which is crazy in my eyes, but they're right, you know, we want the best, so I just can't afford to just get something okay, I need something great, so I will just have to take some time to think about it. And find something that looks nice, test it, and then I will have to patch this everywhere because there is a lot of places like YouTube and what's the word that I don't even remember, but there is a lot of places where there is my cover, so just a lot of work, but yeah, a lot of work and not that many work anyway, but that's a pretty long video just to talk about all this, but I hope you like this little insight or big insight about the next big patch, user-friendly of my game, Duck Amikaze Strikes Back, patch 1.1.0 live on the Steam page, on the Steam demo and the Steam main game. And that's it. I hope I didn't bother you too much with this, and if I did, I guess you're not here anymore, but I like to give information, you know, as best as I can on the raw stuff, on the raw end, because that's the way I do things, that's the way I like to do stuff, and even for me, later on, it's even easier to keep track of the stuff I've done. Thank you for supporting me, thank you for being here, and for following around. I hope you really enjoy my game. Now even people that couldn't play my game will be able to play it, so I'm really happy with this. And yeah, I think the game is really close to perfection. Just one more patch later this year with the cover, I think in December or something like that, and it will be close to perfection. Of course, it's my take on this. You could say that my game is really bad, but I really like it. There is just one trouble, I tried to correct it, but I just can't, is the percentage of Steam achievements. They are completely fucked up. I don't like to say this, but it's the case. It was fucked up because I tried, you know, sometimes in the beginning so that everything is okay, you know, I tested my game and I had to activate some achievement and deactivate them, and it was mostly the end one. So for example, the Duck Amikaze Strikes Back, the very first you'd see, obtain everything, it's like 70% right now and it's way too high, and I just tried to lower it. I did my best, but it doesn't work, so just know that the game is perfect and you can have the 100% just like I did, but don't look at Steam stats percentage thingy because it doesn't work. I mean, Steam doesn't show the right percentage and I just can't seem to be able to. I ask them if they could do something, but they just say no. They just say that you need time, you know, to have players that play the game and then the percentage will be back to normal, but I mean, I don't know. From my calculation, it's just like 6 or 7, maybe too much of... I don't know, I just tried, but it doesn't work, so maybe I will try it again. But don't think it's the achievements are broken, they are working perfectly as intended. So yeah, my game is really near perfection. The only thing I need is a cover, hand-drawn, and yeah. So that's it. Thank you for staying around, for following me around, for being supportive and helping me achieving my dream. And if you don't play the game, it's not I mean, it's okay, and if you give it a try, I will be really glad. It will be really wonderful, and don't hesitate to give me feedback, because I've done, like I've told you, I think everything is perfect now, except for the cover, but maybe you see stuff that you don't like, and you will see differently, so don't hesitate to give me feedback. Negative feedback, positive feedback, every feedback is good to take. As you saw, nearly every stuff that were given me as the feedback have been handled. The deadzone, I'm not going to get back to this, the video is already long enough, but you get it. So So now, yeah, it's really fucking clean, and I love it. So yeah, see you around, and see you next time. Bye bye.